Alright, in this video we are going to see how to create this animation using HTML, CSS and a bit of JavaScript. Now here you can see there is three things happening. The first one, there is a section which is moving along with the cursor. That is the first one. And the second one is the is the video playing behind the text. And the third thing, if I click and hold and release, there is a change between dark mode and light mode. Now if I want dark mode, if click and hold, release, click and hold, release. So these are the three things which we are going to cover in this video. The first thing what we need is we need three documents and a video. So let me create, we need two documents and one video file. So the video is the royalty free video. You can download it from the Unsplash or anything which provides royalty free video. The first thing, let's create a HTML document, control N, control S, demo dot, and finally to follow along I'll leave the source code in the description so that you can follow along with me. Demo.html, and we need one more file which is demo.css. You can name it anything. So for the HTML it's really very simple. We just need a section with, let me give the class name sec, and then we need dot div. This is the first thing which we need for now. Let's we need a Google font called Roboto, so I'll just copy paste it on my CSS, and on all element I want to remove margin and padding, so let me do that as well. Star means or element, remove the margin and padding, and add the box sizing border box, and add the font Roboto for all element, and this is it. Now for the body, to start with, let's give overflow hidden. I'll show you in a minute why I did it. Then let us see how does it looks. Just copy this and paste it. Instead of index, it's going to be demo.html. Cool. This is blank. Now let's start creating. Start with section, and I want the width to be 100%, which is 100 view vertical viewport width, and height 100 viewport height. Viewport is simply the screen height, and this is viewport width and viewport height. Now let's me give the background color as red just to see how does it looks. Now if you see, the section is spread on the browser screen. The very important thing, let us link the CSS demo.css. Now if we refresh, this section is spread over the browser screen. It is because of the 100 viewport width and viewport height. Now that's cool. Now let's work on the dot. Let us give position absolute, top 50%, left 50%. To see the div, we need to give width and height. Let me give 40 pixel, height 40 pixel. Now it would be square. Let me give background color as yellow. Now it's at the center of the screen. It is because of these two values. Now actually this is not the center of the screen, this is the center of the screen. To correct this, we need to use transform, translate, minus 50%, minus 50%. Refresh it. Don't forget the semicolon. Now let's make this round, so border radius 50%. This would only work when the width and height are same. Cool. Now what we can do is, let's work with the JavaScript the simple way. Open the script. Now choose the document dot let's add an event listener. Add event listener. So the event we are going to add to the document is mouse move. So this event is will be triggered when we move our mouse. Now when we move our mouse, I want two values: the position of the mouse over x-axis, the position of mouse over y-axis. We can access this by passing the event. Now let's call the document dot query selector, and here we can pass the CSS. I want the class dot, so let me store this div into a variable. Now I can access this, and let me call style dot left. Now I need to pass the mouse x axis position, which is event dot client x, and I want it to be string, so concatenate with string. So this is how we pass values, and stop and pass the y-axis value. Refresh this. Now you should see as moving. Great. Now the second thing is, if I click on the dot, or on if I click on the dot, I want to add a class active. So call this dot on click. So when I click it, I want a function to get triggered, and this function is simply going to add class active. So this is referring to the div with class dot class list dot toggle. Now we can toggle between the class active. That means when I click, it would be active. When I release, it will remove the active. Toggle is simply the combination of two function, which is add and remove. We have covered it many and many times. Let's small c. Now you can see, if I have clicked it, and along on the dot we have added the class active. If I click again, that active class will be removed. Click again, so you can see active class is being added and removed. Now other thing, I want to add the active class to the section as well. So we have already made the class sec. The same way, toggle with the class active on the section as well. So you can see this is a section. If I click over here, a class is added. Click again, a class is added again. So this is the first part. Now let's switch into the second one. Cool. Now for the background, let us make this black, and to contrast, let us make this white. Cool. Now if there is active class on dot, this is how we write. If the dot section, if the dot div has the class active, this is how we write without space. That means we are referring the class dot with class active. So in that case, I want to change the background color to black. The same way, if there is section with class active, then I want to reverse the color. previously it was black. Now we need to make this white. Refresh it, click on it, it will be changed. Cool. Now if I click and hold, I want to add the box shadow. So on the dot, to click and hold, we have a property called active. In that case, I want box shadow, top and bottom, left and right, blur and spread. Spread need to be 200 viewport height, and the color need to be black. Or the dot color is white. Now we need to turn it to black. We don't need a quick rush. We want a slight transition. So let's add transition. Add transition only to the box shadow, or else you will face problem. Transition only to box shadow with 0.5 pixel. You can see the same way section also has the class active, and in that case we need to reverse it. Now if there is no active class, then make this white. Click and hold, release, click and hold. So we don't have to write box shadow to this. So the first thing is without active class, the second thing need to be with active class. Then let's make this white. Now if I refresh, click it, click and hold, release, click and hold. Now to see the difference, what we can do is, let's add a text dot, use the pseudo element colon before content. Let's make dark mode. So we need the opposite. Well, that's right. And then position absolute top 50%, left 50 pixel, and color contrast. Now it's white. We need to make this black. Refresh it. Cool. Let's make the white space no wrap. Refresh it, click on it, you got it. The same way, if there is active class to the dot, we just need to make the shift of color and then the content. Let's make this white mode, and the color need to be white. Now let's try to reverse it. Cool. The same way, let's reverse the white and dark text. Cool. Now here, if I click and hold, it is the white which is spreading. So now dot with class active, let's reverse this to white and let this be black and check again. You can see leave it, click and hold. So this is what we need. Dark mode, click and hold, leave it. White mode, click and hold, leave it. Well, that is working. Now let's add the text on the dot. Let's add a h1. We'll call this my channel name. So h1 inside class sec. So there will be two case. Then with active, if I refresh, now first thing, without active, refresh it. Without active, I want the color to be white. So this is without active. If I make this white, now you got it. Now let's change the font size 12 em. Position, instead of position, we'll make this h1 that will cover the whole screen with the help of width 100, vertical width, height 100, vertical height, and let's make the background as black. So this is really important because we want the video to be just behind the h1 so that we can use the blend mode. Great, refresh it. Let's close this. We want this to be at the center, so display flex, justify content center, align items center. Now we got it at the center. Cool. Now the same way, if we have class active, then the color need to be black. Let's check with the inspect. First section without active, the color is white. If I click section with active, and the heading color need to be white, and the background color need to be, I think we need to change it. This need to be black and this need to be white. Refresh it, click it. Cool, you got it. Now let's add the video. I'm going to copy paste the code, which is very simple. I'll show you in a minute. So this is video with autoplay, muted, and loop attributes to it, and the source tag inside the video, which has the bg.mp4. This is the name of the file which I have on the same folder, bg.mp4. Cool. So if I refresh, this is how it looks. Now what we need is, let's do the same thing, section with video inside. Do the same way, cover the entire screen. Don't forget the position. We'll copy paste it. So it should be 0, position 0. It should start from 0 and fill the entire screen. Cool. Now what I need is, we have to make the heading come forward. So z index 1, refresh it, and blend mode either to multiply. So if I click it, now you can see the same way. If there is active, then make it screen. Let's zoom in, Control plus. Cool, click and hold, release, click and hold, release. The scope of this video is done. Thank you so much for listening.